If you don't like NFL draft content, well, you might want to turn off the internet for the next 3 weeks because now that free agency is officially done, all that we will hear is NFL draft talk for the next 3 weeks, mock after mock, and who will the Lions take, or this team or that team? We're going to have to find out. But here is something coming from Pride of Detroit that the Lions are going to reportedly host Tennessee quarterback Hendon Hooker on a top 30 visit. Now, this is standard protocol for everybody that's kind of slated to go early on. A lot of teams will have people visit. Now, the thing about Hendon Hooker is he got hurt. ACL tear, would have probably been a first-round pick, but now we're wondering where he's going to go. And although Anthony Richardson is this year's Malik Willis, and everybody's wondering where he's going to go, did he wind up in the top 10, maybe the top 5 due to that fantastic combine and pro day? This is the guy that we may want to keep our eye on. Due to the injury, he probably fell back significantly, maybe to the second, even the third round. The Lions right now have one third-round pick. That is going to be pick number 81 as it stands right now. Now, we went over a couple trade scenarios that the Detroit Lions could have. One of them would be with the Tennessee Titans going from 6 to 11. That would pick them an extra third-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been the other trade that would give them the extra third, but I think the Tennessee Titans one would give them an extra third-round pick. So then that we would have number, I want to say, 71, 72, somewhere around there. And right now, Hendon Hooker could fall in that early to mid third round if he doesn't go any earlier than that. So this is very intriguing. Now, Hendon Hooker, in his time in Tennessee, too bad for that injury because he got hurt and he was playing very well. Phenomenal athlete, phenomenal games at Tennessee. And this guy, if we look at his stats, which is, me, I like to go to the stats right now. He had for 2022, 3,135 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions in his time in the 2022 season. Here's the thing about Hendon Hooker, though. He's currently 25 years old. Jared Goff is 28. Jared Goff is going to be here, in my opinion, till he's at least 30. Hendon is not going to come right out and play. Now, is he going to be ready to go 100% coming off that injury? Very similar to what Jameson Williams had. They say that the recovery time is really from 6 to 12 months, a solid year from the time you injure. So it was sad to see him get hurt, but with Hendon Hooker being 25 years old, probably not going to play right away, would you be willing to take him in the second or third round? I'm thinking the third round. If Jared Goff is already 28, Hendon Hooker is 25, you'll have a 28-year-old quarterback and Jared Goff, if I'm not mistaken, just turned 28, a 25-year-old quarterback. So now Jared Goff is 29, Hendon is 26. Is that a guy that you want to turn the reins over to? If you compare that to Bryce Young, who's 21, Anthony Richardson, who's 20, these guys he has a substantial age difference between those guys. So if you draft Hendon Hooker, how much different is that from Jared Goff in terms of age? He might have different athletic abilities than Jared Goff, but as far as age, how much are you really gaining in drafting Hendon Hooker? Now, I will say this. In the third round, if he wasn't hurt and he came out in the first, then that would be a different kind of question. I think him and Will Levis are kind of in that same category. In the third round, I wouldn't be opposed to this because we have 5 picks in the top 55, something like that, right? 5 picks in the top 80, 5 picks in the top 81. So if we took him at pick 81 with that third round pick, okay, we already have 4 picks here that we could really fill those holes that were empty. Defensive tackle, defensive end, a safety, a linebacker, an edge. We have several holes and even an offensive tackle. Like, it's some guys that we could still get. So I could see this happening. I don't see the Lions taking him any earlier than that, probably due to the age. I don't think it's the injury because he's not going to play right away. So will the Lions do this? I'm not sure, and I really think that the key is his age because it's not that different from Jared Goff. You're talking about a 3-year difference here between Jared Goff and Hendon Hooker. And if this guy is going to be the future, then how realistic does that seem? You know what I mean? You got, here it is that Bryce Young, Jared Goff has 7 years on Bryce Young. So that's a big difference than a 3-year age gap. So could I see them doing this? I could. In my opinion, it would be in the 3rd round, not before. We have linebacker, different holes that we need to fill. And I think if the Lions do take Hendon Hooker, it would be at that around here, pick number 81, which, like I said, I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be opposed to that because you got somebody who can heal. Jared Goff can mentor. He can come in and win us a game or two, the backup that we need. And I don't think if we drafted Hendon Hooker, he would necessarily be the quarterback of the future. Because just as quick as Jared Goff is out of here, just think about it. Jared Goff is out of here at 30. Hendon Hooker is now 27. You know what I mean? So how much did you gain when it comes to that? But for a 3rd round pick, it might not be that big of a deal. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think the Detroit Lions will take Hendon Hooker with any pick in out of their top 81 when it comes to those 5 picks? Let me know. My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. The draft will be here before you know it. So consider subscribing to the YouTube channel because we got mad Detroit Lions coverage. We will be live on this channel all 3 days covering the NFL draft for your Detroit Lions. That means day 3 as well. So subscribe to the channel. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. And as always, go Lions.